Good afternoon, 302. I'm Joseph Manano, live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Board to the Mid-Kentucky Down Studios. Lots of NFL news today, starting with what just happened as the Cardinals have informed quarterback Kyler Murray that they intend to release him on the first day of the league year next Wednesday before barring a trade between now and then. Arizona already owes him $36.8 million guaranteed in 2026, and another $19.5 would have triggered on March 15th for 2027. He will now be moving on, and the Cardinals save that money for next year. The Jets placed the $14.2 million franchise tag on running back Breece Hall as they continue to work on an extension. The Colts placed the transition tag on quarterback Daniel Jones, which is $37.8 million, which is about $6 million cheaper than the franchise tag, but it also gives Jones the opportunity to sign an offer sheet with another team that Indianapolis would then have the right to match. Also, the Bears Pro Bowl center Drew Dalman has informed the team that he's retiring from the NFL at age 27. Tonight in college hoops, number 23 Tennessee heads on the road to South Carolina. The Vols will be without star freshman Nate Aitman, who's dealing with a right leg injury suffered last week. Tip-off is at 5. The Vol Network call the game right here on the Zone. Starts at 4:30. Number 24 Vandy will head on the road to face Ole Miss at 8. For our foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once, and your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Bray's already with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It really is. I mean, all the way around. Blessing to be here, but also a, physically, weather-wise, beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Do you know it's going to be 83 degrees on Friday?
I did not know that, but that sounds amazing.
And then Sunday, the time changes?
And that's
Sunday
even
morning?
more amazing.
It is. A lot of SEC basketball tonight. Slay Dog is in Charlotte. You can check him out on the SEC Network. Games start at 5. Slay starts on television at 4 o'clock.
And we are out of here at 4:30 because the Vols play early.
Fall Network coverage of Tennessee at South Carolina begins at 4:30. Tip-off at 5 right here on 104.5 The Zone. Dawn Davenport is here, y'all.
Hey, I don't even know what day it is. Let's go.
Two for Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Vandyman AD2 on YouTube. What's up, Mayor Babs and Daddy Zeph? Is it Daddy Zeph, or can we just call him Zeph Dad? Zeph Daddy.
That both of those sound odd.
I mean, he's our little Zephyr in there. He's going to be a dad.
You guys can just stick with Zeph. I'm okay with that.
Zeffy.
What did your friends call you, like, in high school?
Like my teammates in high school baseball called me by my last name, or Bananas.
Oh, Bananas. That's good.
I got Bananas.
That's what Blaine calls you.
Yeah, him and Mickey. When I was on Blaine and Mickey, they call me Bananas, which is what I got called growing up most of the time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So we have an hour-and-a-half show.
Bananas. This Giano is bananas. Yeah, Zeph? Yeah? No? Not feeling it? Okay. All right.
Moving on.
He's just looking at me like I'm a psycho.
Yeah, moving on. Lots of NFL news today.
Daryl in the Borough. Kyler is getting released. Eyeballs. We'll get to that. There are lots of little bits of news to get to today. I can't wait till free agency opens up officially. And some of these things that we are hearing become fact. Like, we were in between shows yesterday, and I forgot to bring it up on the show, actually. And Zach Lyons said, hey, Wan'Dale Robinson's going to be a Titan, so is John Franklin Myers. Mm-hmm. And so then you start seeing all that stuff tweeted today.
Them tweeting each other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jermaine Johnson actually tweeted at J_Franklin Myers next Wednesday, coming soon, ...
I love it.
Also, I love leaving tweets and texts with the ... Is that irritating, annoying, or, well, it's just like a continued thought to me.
No.
Like, I'm not punctuating this. It's going to keep going. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Coming up tonight, number 23, Tennessee at South Carolina. If you were listening yesterday, Chris Lowe told you Nate Ament would not play against South Carolina. The story came out about an hour later, which is what happens when Chris is on.
When CeeLo is on our show.
Yes. So he will miss the game with a right leg injury. Do not rush him back is probably the smart way to handle that.
I get it.
I would doubt that he plays Saturday, too, if I were sitting here and just kind of opining. Not knowing details of the injury.
I would lean to agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Vols have lost 2 in a row for the first time since early December. How about that? Tennessee has won 7 out of 8 in the series against South Carolina. Vols have won 3 in a row at South Carolina. Haven't lost there since 2020. COVID.
Ooh.
Every time I see these COVID stats, I remember doing shows with you on computer.
Oh, it was awful, wasn't it?
With no sports. We literally did sports talk radio for almost a year without any sports. And then we got back here. Remember, it was like right after January 1, we started coming in. And then we had to, when we walked in the door, they had a thermometer that you had to place on your forehead. And if it wasn't right, you couldn't come in. You can't come in. Wild times, man, wild times. Gamecocks have dropped.
Thank goodness that's over.
Yeah. Gamecocks have dropped 9 out of 10. They are 2-6 at home in the SEC. Zeph, 9.5. Tennessee's favored by 9.5 without Ament. That's a big number. I know South Carolina is tied for last in the SEC. Is that too big a number?
Yes.
I'm leaning yes.
I'm not betting it. Y'all can.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't bet that. I think Tennessee wins, but playing without your star player for the first time this season, I mean, you had time to prepare for it.
Yeah, it's a good.
That helps.
You're on the road. You're on the road, which I get they're playing poorly this season in South Carolina, but SEC road games are always tough.
They're 2-6 at home in SEC play. South Carolina.
Who are the 2 wins? Do you know?
I don't know.
I'll look up their schedule because
I wasn't trying to get that much into detail. I thought I did a pretty good job of getting into some detail with South Carolina, but you want to go deeper.
You did great, Mayor. You did great.
Thank you, Babsy. In the meantime.
In between time.
Peace. Number 16, Alabama at Georgia. This is interesting. Alabama is favored by 1.5 against Georgia. Georgia would be the 10 seed in the SEC tournament right now. That's a weird line to me. 5:30 ESPN News. They get on the ESPN Snooze channel? Interesting. Missouri at Oklahoma. Missouri currently, because of tiebreakers, would have the double bye. They would be the 4 seed in the SEC tournament right now. They are a 2.5-point underdog at Oklahoma, who would be the 12. They would be either 12 or 13. I don't know the tiebreaker there.
In Missouri, like 6-1 versus like quad one teams at home or something like that.
They're sneaky good, but they're an underdog tonight. So there could be a lot of jumbling right now. So like the top 4, the double bye would be Florida has a 2-game lead over Alabama, a 3-game lead over Arkansas, and a 4-game lead over Missouri, Kentucky, and Tennessee. There are 7 teams within 1 game of that double bye, last double bye spot. 7 teams within 1 game with 2 to go. Then you go deeper. You go into the 7 line, and you've got Vanderbilt, Texas, Texas A&M are all 5 back. So they would be 7, 8, 9. I'm not sure on the order of that one either because they've all beaten each other. So I don't know where that one stands.
And to me, I'm like, it hurts my head to try and figure it out. I'm just going to wait.
I do try to figure it out, but I don't go.
I know you do.
I don't go crazy deep on it.
I'm like
Commissioner
play these games,
please tell me.
and then we'll talk.
Yeah. So then Georgia's a 10 seed, as I mentioned. There's 6 games back. Auburn is the 11 seed right now. So Auburn could get Tennessee. If the tournament happened right now, Auburn would play on Wednesday, and if they won, they would play Tennessee on Thursday in the late game, 8:30. So also coming up tonight, this is interesting too. Kentucky, is there more of a schizophrenic team out there than Kentucky? I have no idea what to do with them game to game.
I thought in the whole Pope meltdown and all that, I thought, oh, they're done. And then they come back and win. And then they're back.
And then they go back and they lose.
And then they go back and they lose
games.
again. And I'm like, here comes the meltdown.
Schizophrenic.
Something.
So Kentucky plays at Texas A&M tonight. Guess who's favored? A&M.
A&M.
By 1.5 over Kentucky tonight.
I mean, but that's
at 6 o'clock on ESPN2.
Barely a favor. I mean.
True.
Also, I really don't know what to think about A&M either. Because,
they're kind of weird, too.
They feel like they should be a good team, but, you look at them in the last couple of weeks, they've had some weird losses where you're like, what happened?
Yeah. One thing I know that's going to happen tonight, Florida is going to beat Mississippi State. That's going to happen. Florida at home against Mississippi State, they are a 21.5-point favorite tonight against Mississippi State. Mississippi State currently with Oklahoma on that tied for that 12th line, so they could fall back after tonight. I would imagine they will. Number 24, Vanderbilt at Ole Miss. Vandy, a slight favorite. I didn't write it down, but I think it's 5.5. I think.
Probably go Vandy for a bounce back there after getting kind of whooped by Kentucky.
Plus,
on
Ole Miss
Saturday.
coming off a surprise win against Auburn. Yeah, I like what you're saying there. Vanderbilt with the bounce back. Ole Miss coming off a win. I like Vandy there. LSU at Auburn. Auburn favored by 9.5, Babs. Is that confidence?
No. I mean, Vegas apparently, but Auburn fans, no.
9 o'clock, SEC Network. You going to stay up for that one?
Heck no. I hate those late games.
She'll catch the replay on the SEC Network tomorrow sometime.
Yep.
I'll catch the highlights.
All that's coming up. Daniel Jones got transitioned today. The deadline just happened 13 minutes ago for transition and franchise tags. Daniel Jones got transition tagged $38 million,
which is cheaper than what the franchise tag would be.
But they got forced into this. They had no other option but to do this. So that's the average of the top 10 quarterback salaries. Here's the other thing. Somebody could come in and offer him an offer sheet or whatever. The Colts have the opportunity to match that. If he was franchised, they don't. He's just gone. But they have the opportunity to match it. But Daniel Jones is going to make $38.7 million next year. At least.
At least, yeah.
Also, Kyler Murray going to get released this week, right?
Next Wednesday, barring a trade. The reason they did it now was because if on March 15th, a $19.5 million guarantee kicked in for Kyler in 2027. So they're going ahead and bite the bullet for this year to save that almost $20 million next year.
Jim Wyatt was at the NFL Combine. We'll ask him about some of the players that look good there. What does he think about Jeremiah Love, the running back that's getting all the talk now? 615-737-1045, always a number. Again, we're here till 4:30 today. We will try to move quickly. We appreciate you being with us. We'll be right back. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, good people? It's Big Slay. Spring's almost here, the season of fresh starts. And if you've been looking in the mirror thinking, man, it's time to fix this thinning hair, well, I got the place to go for you. At We Grow Hair, they're delivering incredible results with their advanced FUE hair transplant technique, a minimal invasive procedure where individual follicles are extracted and placed with precision for natural-looking coverage. It means tiny, barely visible marks and a much faster recovery than older strip method procedures. Plus, this team has nearly 30 years of experience helping people get their hair and confidence back with proven, permanent solutions and a reputation as one of the top clinics in the Southeast. And listen, when you tell them Slay sent you, they'll hook you up with $500 off your hair transplant procedure. That's real savings on results you'll see growing and stronger every month. So this spring is the perfect time to make that change. Call 615-376-6010 or hit WeGrowHair.com. This spring, grow it back with the team I trust.
It's time to talk about Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. It's going to be 83 freaking degrees on Friday, man. The weather's turning. DickensSupply.com. They can help you out. They have multiple Middle Tennessee locations. Trey Hartsook is here to tell you more about what Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply can do for you. Trey, what's up?
Hey, Brent, what's up, man? Hey, I'll tell you, we love spring in Middle Tennessee because one day you're wanting fertilizer, one day you're wanting ice melt. You never know what you're going to need. But right now, this time of year, Dickens Supply can help you with all those things. It's really the time of year, Brent. If you've got an old lawnmower that needs to be fixed, we can do that for you. Or you might say, hey, to heck with this, I just need a new machine, and we can do that for you as well, whether it's Toro, Ferris, Snapper, Walker, Wright Standard, the best brands in the industry available at Dickens Turf and Landscape Supply. On the way out, real quick, Brent, it's the time. If you overseed it in the fall and your grass is looking pretty good, maybe it's discolored a little bit from the long winter, right now is the best time to get that first round of pre-emergent down with a little nitrogen, push that color out, get it looking good. Bring some pictures into your lawn. Maybe you don't know what you need. That's what we're here for. Come in and see us. We'd love to talk to you about it. We're conveniently located all over Middle Tennessee. Got locations in Nashville, Hendersonville, Murfreesboro, Bellevue, Brentwood, Lamar, Mount Juliet, and Franklin. If you can't get a hold of us, check us out online, DickensSupply.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Don Davenport with you until 4:30. Tennessee, South Carolina coming up today at 5 o'clock. Vol Network coverage begins at 4:30. Of course, we mentioned Vanderbilt with a bounce-back opportunity tonight against Ole Miss on the road at 8 o'clock in the SEC Network. Plus, Jimmy Wyatt, I'm sure we'll be watching that game. Jim, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing great. Hope you guys are having a good day.
Doing well. Thanks for hopping on. How was Indianapolis, Jimmy?
It was good. I always go up there knowing it's going to be a long week, but you're going to see a lot of people and learn the prospects a little bit better. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good week. I liked having Mike Berganzi and Robert Stiley go on separate days to kind of spread out the content.
Yeah.
It was cool to see a bunch of these prospects up close, learn a little bit about them, their personalities. Obviously, a lot of them are waiting until pro days and some of their stuff on campus to really show what they can do. But some of the guys that were up there that performed, from Jeremiah Love to Sonny Styles to Eli Stowers, some of these guys did as much up there where they not got to do anything on their pro days. And so you can make quite a case for yourself and change your standing pretty quickly if you do well in Indy.
Well, Jim Wyatt with us, TennesseeTitans.com. That's where you can get his content he mentioned.
Yes, and so Jimmy, you kind of mentioned personality-wise and getting to know some of these guys. Anybody specifically stood out to you that you got to chat with, watch during press conferences, all of that the Titans might be interested in?
Yeah, I think they're interested. It's what's funny is a lot of these things will turn into, did you talk to the Packers? Did you talk to the Eagles? Have you talked to the Steelers? And the reality is, they've talked to all these guys, and I think the Titans certainly have interviewed a bunch of them too, and that includes the 3 edge rushers. That includes Jeremiah Love. If you're a great player in this draft, at some point you're going to cross paths with every team, and the Titans have done their homework. A lot of these guys, whether it's at the Senior Bowl, Combine, they'll be going to pro days, and they'll bring in some of these guys to town for visits. And reality is, you start zeroing in on these guys more when you have a better idea what your needs are going to be. Free agency starts next week. That's going to impact, what this draft class or what this draft class looks like for the Titans, I think, in a lot of ways. So, I like him. I obviously like listening to Bain. But he wasn't the only one. A lot of these edge rushers were, I thought, were pretty intriguing, and all of them, you could find different reasons to like them.
Jim Wyatt with us at Jay Wyatt Sports on Twitter. To Dawn's question, I'm gonna kind of go off of what she was asking in a little more detail. I'm always interested in, everything that goes on at the Combine, maybe more than I should be. I don't know. But you always come across, wild stories or heartwarming stories or great stories. Is there something that kind of stuck out to you about a guy this year?
Oh, man. I can't say necessarily anything that I didn't learn. Everybody knows Jeremiah Love's story, just because ESPN did a good job kind of on his personality and some of the things he's had to deal with growing up. I will say that, he has got a great personality, comes across really well. I think he not only did well in the media session, but I'm sure he interviewed well with the teams. That stood out to me more than anything. As far as anybody, with a crazy story, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that really surprised me.
Okay. Speaking of Jeremiah Love, is 4 too high these days to take a running back?
I guess it depends on who you ask. I think, but because most people will tell you it's too early to take a running back, and I understand why teams maybe don't want to do it. I think, if you're looking at everybody and the top players in this class, if you think he's a sure thing and you're not sure about the other guys up there, no, I don't think it's too early to take one. And, I think he is one of these game-changing type players. I've noticed that some people are starting to mock him to the Titans. which I find is interesting. Last week I did the mock draft roundup, and I think of the 20 people, I think all 20 of them had a defensive player. I think this week, when I did it yesterday, I think there were 9 offensive guys, and there was a Love in there, but there was also a tackle. There were receivers.
Oh my gosh!
So I think, and a lot of that's based off the reported trade that came down the pike last week too. So I think people are starting to look at needs as they change, but. I think if the running back is special, no, I don't think it's too early to take him at 4.
Well, and that's what I kind of started to think about. Like, it's hard to get a blue chip playmaker, right? And so, like, that's why you could sell me on Love for sure. But this is an interesting draft where I could be sold like 5 different dudes. You know what I mean? Now, you could leave the offensive tackle to your mailbag, and I will, in an entertaining fashion, read your response to that. But outside of that, there are like 5 dudes that, like, at this point, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I know. I think free agency kind of helps give some clues on what teams could end up doing. Like, if the Titans obviously have already reportedly made a move at, and it'd be a trade to get an edge rusher, or if they got to get somebody else, or what if they get out and sign a couple of receivers or a running back. I think that's going to change maybe what you're looking for in the draft. But and I think the board will shake out too. Like, there's a lot of movement based off what happened in Indy. I'm noticing Sonny Styles in the top 5 now, which certainly wasn't the case a week ago. And I don't know that he stays there. I don't know. Love is again projected the most. Draft I saw today, they had him projected at 3 to Arizona. So there's all kinds of opinions about what could happen.
I mean, Sonny Styles, 43 and a half inch vertical, highest by an off-ball linebacker in 23 years, 4.46 40, which is what Arvell Reese ran, 11.2 broad jump. To put the vertical into perspective, and I know you know all these things, but like people that might just be tuning in and maybe they haven't paid attention, it's crazy to think about the athleticism of Sonny Styles, but Calvin Johnson had a 42 and a half inch vertical. That's an inch shorter than this middle linebacker. Underdog put this out. He's 6'5", same size as Calvin Johnson. He's 244 pounds, 3 pounds lighter than Derrick Henry. 43 and a half inch vert, same as Nate Robinson's max vert, who's an NBA player. 4.46 40, same as Bijan Robinson. And 135 inch broad jump, same as Julio Jones. I mean, at some point, like, you just look at an athlete and just say, hey, we'll figure it out. We'll put you somewhere.
You can do something somewhere.
Honestly, that's what Ohio State did with him.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not, and he's one that blew it away. There are a lot of guys that did that. I mean, Stowers, I'm going to throw his name back up there again.
Oh,
Stowers,
he's on the list to bring up to you. That's for sure.
He's 45.5 vertical, and his speed was incredible. And, I had people texting me, hey, did he solidify, a first-round pick or a second-round pick? And I think that certainly remains to be seen. But that's just a freak athlete there, and I do think that changes how teams look at you.
I think tight end number 2, right, behind the freak show out west, he set a tight end combine record with an 11.3 broad jump. That's tied for the 8th best all-time regardless of position. Second best vertical at the combine since 2003, 45 and a half inches, and ran a 4.5 140. And ultimately, like, he's still kind of new to the position,
Yeah, and I have to say I wondered. I saw a lot of, projections or top 50s going into the combine, and made me wonder just because a lot of this time last year people were talking about Stowers as a first, second round pick, and then he kind of fell off of that to some measure, and then he goes to the combine and does what he did, and now I think he's back in that conversation again. So he's a heck of a talent, and I do wonder how much teams are going to fall in love with them in this process.
So how crowded is the combine in terms of like media members, and where do you consume the workout? Like, where do you watch the workouts? In the press box? You get to go on the field? Like, how does all that work?
Yeah, I mean, the combine has changed so much. I was telling somebody this morning, like I started going to the combine maybe by around 2001, 2002. That's when it was in the RCA Dome. It was in a small room. They'd bring the prospects to you, not all the prospects, just a small group of them. And the reality is, I spent most of my time waiting in the hallway, because back then there was just kind of a limited. It was a tighter walkway where, head coaches, GMs, personnel, they all had to pass through that same walkway. And you spent most of your time in the hallway waiting for, at least I did, waiting for Jeff Fisher or Floyd Reese or somebody in personnel to come through to figure out what was getting ready to happen in free agency, because a lot of times it was overlapping. Now there's more of a gap between the time the combine ends and the time free agency begins, and they've got areas kind of that personnel folks don't have to travel that same path. They can avoid you a little bit better. But then all the prospects are coming in there. And I spend most of my time, from Tuesday through Friday night when I left, in the main convention center where all the interviews are taking place. Mm-hmm. There's a huge workroom where I obviously spend a lot of time writing. I don't, some people spend a lot of time at those workouts.
Yeah.
It's nice to peek in from time to time, but I think you probably get bored, to be honest with you, watching on NFL Network, because you're getting official results there, you're getting commentary that you might not otherwise hear or know about certain things, and but it's just crazy what it's become as far as what kind of an event it is. And talk to people from all over the country that come to Indy just for the combine, which I think is the perfect location to have it.
I mean, they are reportedly going to move that thing around like the draft. So
I hope they don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm always partial to Nashville. I think Nashville would do great on any event, but Indy is perfect for that, just because you don't really never have to go outside. Prospects can walk from the hotels into the stadium without having to go anywhere. It's just, there's restaurants, there's hotels everywhere close. It's I hear talk about it potentially moving to LA or Dallas or even Vegas, things like that, and I don't think any of those places would handle it as well as Indy does.
Yeah, Indy is cool in that, for those that don't know, like, you walk around downtown, you literally can go from building to building to building and never go outside. Like, they have elevated tunnels. I don't know what to call them, but they go from building to building and they're elevated, and that works out well. And I get what you're saying in terms of information networking and all of those things, way more important than watching Brennan Thompson run a 4.26 in person as opposed to on television, where you can do all those things too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always been my thinking too.
Well, so free agency starts next week. Do you have like a week that you can, like, I don't know, go to the Caribbean or something?
No, I don't. And my wife's a school teacher, so I'm kind of stuck in town whenever she gets her spring break. Usually falls about the same time free agency starts, so she's always frustrated with me that I can't go anywhere. But I mean, it's hard for me to go this time of year because you're kind of on call for, obviously free agency starts, as you mentioned, next week, but we're in a window now where you potentially could re-sign some of your own players, or could be other things happening. Obviously, there's some other stuff going on in town next week that's going to keep me busy as well. So,
are you talking about Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament, Jim?
No, I'll be lucky if I make it to the tournament next week, just because you got this March 12th event.
That's right.
Which is day 2 of free agency, and also day 2 of the SEC tournament, and then free agency obviously is going to be getting full go at the end of next week. So probably keep me from being at Bridgestone.
I really forgot about that. I wasn't trying to get you to say what was March 12th. But anyway.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you it was SEC tournament related, but it's work related.
All right. Well, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tim. Great stuff, man. Always appreciate the conversation. Thank you.
Okay, y'all have a good week. Thank you.
All right,
Thanks,
you can get
Jimmy.
Jim's content, TennesseeTitans.com at Jay Wyatt Sports. Titans going to end up with a free agent wide receiver. We'll talk about it next. 615-737-1045.
Want to tell you about my favorite window door people. That would be Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Yes, they're the best. They did all of our windows and doors in my rental property and some of our windows in our house. A couple years ago, we had little bugs that were crawling through our windows. Original builder didn't do a great job. And so we had to replace some of our windows. And Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville was the best when it came to everything from pricing, customer service, warranty, scheduling, staff in place to take care of you, all the things Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville did. And now that I've been around them for so long, they let me give you a deal every single month. So for the month of March, our newest Dawn deal is 55% off Pella certified labor and 0% APR for 24 months, plus an additional 5% off of materials. So lots of discounts that add up. All you have to do is schedule your free consultation. You can do it online. Tell them you want the Dawn deal, and they'll help you out. It's PellaNashville.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brett Doherty, Don Davenport with you. Slay Dog is in Charlotte, North Carolina. Working on the SEC network tonight. We didn't really have this on the topic roster today, but Kim Caldwell, man, we were just talking during the break. It's almost like she's trying to get fired. Like the weird press conference where she said her team quit and all this stuff, and then now, like, they've lost 6 games in a row. The whole senior day thing. Like, what in the world is going on? I don't know the details. It's just a bunch of weird, bizarre things that are going on.
Yeah, now Kaya Wynn, who was the senior that didn't get into the game, or maybe she got in the last, I think it was 15 seconds left or whatever. I don't know.
That's what Bab said.
Didn't get into the game or whatever on senior day on Sunday against Vanderbilt when they were down double digits late in that game. Stepped away from the program today, announced that decision on senior day was the thing that broke the straw that broke the camel's back, pretty much.
Like, that's a player that has been there 5 years, been loyal to the program, had a devastating Achilles injury. By all accounts, from Slay and Tennessee people, bought into Kim Caldwell when she came in,
and that
helped
was a
her,
big thing,
and helped her kind of establish, leadership and all of that within the program. And then you can't even put her in at senior day.
Yeah, all of these things are
and
really
like
strange.
You're losing that game. You could have put her in. I mean, you weren't even close, right? I mean, they were down by double digits.
With like a minute to go, it was still like 6 or 8.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They got down big in the third quarter,
and then
came back.
Yeah.
which is kind of their MO.
That's
these
I
last
think,
couple games, but
yeah.
So they play in the SEC tournament. They play the 11 seed or the 14 seed, whoever wins that game. And then if you don't win that one, I mean, they're getting in the NCAA tournament, but what are you going to see from them? I don't know, man. We've come a long way since they beat UConn last year.
Yeah. Although it's only year 2 for her.
Right, but here's my biggest question about it. And again, not diving into the details. It's not like I called, 3 insiders in Knoxville to find out all this stuff. It's just weird, like reading all of the things and watching it all go down. How's she going to keep that roster intact?
Especially,
I don't know. Maybe she does. I don't know. But
well, I mean,
in today's world where players leave for like no reason, and then you've got a coach that is calling people out for quit.
Was it CeeLo we asked yesterday about it, where he kind of was like, I just don't think the team responded how she expected them to respond.
And
Which
means you don't know your team.
You got to know your team is what he literally said. Yep.
And so, I mean, it makes you think like, hey, maybe the girls are starting to realize like this isn't where they want to be. And then you lose a big chunk of your roster because in women's college basketball, unless you are getting like consistently like the top recruiting class, like those core players that are there for like the 3, 4, 5 years, like that is what helps that foundation. And you start losing those players, especially with the transfer portal nowadays.
Plays 10,
Yeah, I think I saw someone reference it as a like a hockey rotation.
Yeah,
is how she does it, and the fact that she couldn't get Kaya in with one of her hockey rotations was a little ridiculous.
But again, to be fair on that point, maybe she felt like she was in the game late. Maybe you do that earlier in the game. I don't know.
Let her start for the first couple minutes.
Yeah, coaches come down differently on that. Like, we talked to Casey Alexander. He's like, we're not starting all our seniors. Like, we're out here to win the game. But we'll handle it appropriately, But weird situation. There's no doubt about that. Zach Lyons told us during the show switch yesterday that he thinks wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson will be a Titan when free agency opens up, and now he's starting to see stories about that today. Evan Sidery tweeted, the Titans will aggressively pursue Wan'Dale Robinson when free agency begins, per Connor Hughes. He wrote, Tennessee, who leads the NFL in cap space, recently hired former Giants head coach Brian Dable as their new OC. Wan'Dale Robinson is 5'8", 185.
He's tiny.
But he's got a little more to him than like Brennan Thompson that we talked about yesterday. But yeah, 5'8", 185. But here's the thing, man. 92 catches last year for the Giants.
1,000 yards.
1,014 yards and 4 touchdowns. He caught 93 balls the year before that. Brian Dable knows him.
But this was the first. This past season was the first 1,000-yard season for him, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Even though he caught a bunch of balls the year before.
You got to think
balls.
With multiple quarterbacks. He didn't have one quarterback all season.
He had a rookie.
And a rookie for a lot of that. According to Spotrac, his projected value per year is about $17.6 million. So I know Alec Pierce has been the other name
with the Colts.
With the Colts, which since they transition tag Daniel Jones, that leaves the door open for Alec Pierce to hit free agency. I did see some reporting. I think Jordan Schultz had it first about how they're working on a long-term deal with Alec Pierce, but nothing guaranteed as of now. I
think he'll end up staying. The way they did it with transition tag for Jones, right? Then that left it open for them to be able to figure out a deal.
I think
with
I'm
Alec
with you.
Pierce. Like, I think the way they did it shows you that's probably going to work out.
I think I'm there with you. His
a lot of money between those two guys.
His projected value per year is 20.2, and then
there's $58 million between Alec Pierce and Daniel Jones, just like that.
And then obviously we've talked about the guy who on Spotrac has the highest projected value, Juwan Jennings at 22.6.
Now, okay, the Wan'Dale Robinson.
He's caught 185 balls in the last 2 years.
But if that signing happens, I mean, that's a complete shift then in what you're looking at the draft and other free agents you're looking at.
You still need that obviously you still need that number one. But at that point, maybe you can find a second-round wide receiver that you think will be that guy down the road. I don't know.
Does this kind of
they need to sign a wide receiver in free agency, no question, and not just a dude. Like they need to sign a guy that can be productive, and this guy's productive.
So does going after a guy like Wan'Dale Robinson kind of have a little bit of that same Chim Dike style of play where he's going to be in the slot, catch a lot of balls, but not necessarily be your big playmaker type guy? Does that make you think that maybe Calvin Ridley could potentially stay they might consider keeping him for another year just so they have that different variance in wide receiver on the outside?
I think so. I think so. We've had the argument, is Calvin Ridley a 1? And most people have said no.
National guy
has said no. He's a 2, right? But regardless, I just think for the money, the deal, what he could be healthy still.
Plus he's got the relationship with Cam.
Yeah, he knows. I mean, it's going to be a different offense, obviously, but they already know each other. I just think it's a no-brainer that he's on this roster next year. And I could be wrong.
I talked with Zach a little bit about this yesterday. Is like looking at the Titans wide receiver room over the past couple years. Like when they had AJ, it was AJ and kind of nobody else, right? Before that, it was. You really didn't have anybody.
before that, way back now, Zeph.
Yeah, before you didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
So I think what they're kind of setting up to go into 2026 by keeping Calvin, if they sign Wan'Dale Robinson plus
Wan'Dale.
Yeah, I kind of got country there, didn't
Yeah, you
country
did.
twang.
I like it.
Plus you have Io Manor and DK. Like you kind of have what the Packers typically have, which is like a room full of like 2s and 3s, and not one specific one, which I think would be okay for this kind of year
building,
for building the foundation.
roster.
Yeah, building the foundation.
I mean, where are we with Io Manor and DK? Are they rotational pieces?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Like
and that's fine.
Yeah.
DK's value comes on the punt return.
They're pretty
players.
solid rotational pieces.
I just pulled up Calvin Ridley's contract. SpotTrack has it potential out in 2026, $13.2 million in dead cap.
I mean,
he's technically under contract for 2 more seasons, but they can get out of it now.
Here's the other thing, and this is what I always say. We were just having this conversation about Kim Caldwell and all of that. Like, okay, who are you going to hire next then? Like, who's going to be the next one? You know, people that want their football coach are like, oh, fire Heupel. Okay, who are you going to hire next? if you look at the Titans, who's going to catch balls for you?
Like, you're going to put Io Manor in that position to, like, be the quote-unquote number one for this team, like on the outside?
No, but if DK is currently your slot receiver, your starting slot receiver, Wan'Dale Robinson is an upgrade.
Absolutely.
True, yes.
Huge upgrade.
Right.
And you keep Ridley, too, from the experience factor of he's been there, done that, can help what is a very young team. I said that I was talking about this last year, even with him. Like, he can help a young team. And the thing with Ridley, like, we have never heard anything negative about him. Locker room, pouring into younger guys. Not there has never been a single knock on him from that standpoint. So for that, when we're talking about that kind of money and 2 more years on his deal or whatever, I mean, it's, to me, he's on this roster next year, and you just hope that he can play like a number one.
So here's Ridley's contract. They clearly set this up for a 4-year deal that's really a 2-year deal.
Yep.
Last year, his cap hit number was $28 million and change, okay? His dead cap was 40.5. So there's no way they cut him last offseason. They didn't, right? Like, they expected him to be their number one and all that stuff. This year, it's $26.45 million against the cap if he's on the team. The dead cap goes from $40.5 million to $13. That's why there's an out right there. So we'll see. What would y'all do? You want Calvin Ridley back? 615-737-1045. We mentioned Wan'Dale Robinson. There is a defensive lineman that is rumored to be potentially headed here as well. We'll talk about that next. Again, we are with you until 4:30 today. Vol Network coverage of Tennessee at South Carolina begins at 4:30. Tip-off at 5 right here on 104.5 The Zone. If you want in, 615-737-1045.
Okay, all of these nasty sicknesses that are rolling around schools and work and all the things. Oof, I feel you, because my family's been in it. And thank goodness for medical house calls. When it's impossible to get into a doctor, maybe it's a Sunday where a fever hit and you need to see a medical professional right away. That's where medical house calls comes in, because the beautiful thing about it is they come to you. Call them, text them. They assess what you need within minutes. Book your visit, and medical providers will be at your door to deliver you the care that gets you back as soon as possible. This is the best part. 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, from 7 a.m. all the way until 8 p.m. Same day appointments available next day, guaranteed. Here's your phone number, 615-838-2375. It's healthcare designed for your life. It's medical house calls. They also do active recovery IVs from workouts, immune support. IV therapy is the best at getting you back to your best self as well. Your time is precious. Your health is priceless. Medical house calls can take care of you. 615-838-2375, or just go visit them online, medicalhousecalls.com.
Good afternoon. It is 4:01. Just Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Circus Sports at the Make Kentucky Down Studios. In NFL news today, the Cardinals have informed quarterback Kyler Murray that they intend to release him on the first day of the league year next Wednesday, barring a trade between now and then. Arizona already owes him $36.8 million guaranteed this year, and another $19.5 million would have triggered on March 15th for next year. He will now be moving on to whatever team he signs with out of free agency. The Jets placed the $14.2 million franchise tag on running back Breece Hall as they continue to work out an extension. The Colts placed the transition tag on quarterback Daniel Jones. It's $6 million cheaper than the franchise tag, but does give Jones the opportunity to sign an offer sheet with another team. Indianapolis would also have a chance to match. Bears Pro Bowl center Drew Dalman has informed the team that he is retiring from the NFL at age 27. Opening up another team needy for a center. Tonight in college hoops, number 23 Tennessee heading on the road to South Carolina. No Nate Ament for the Vols as he suffers a right leg injury from last week. Tip-off at 5. Vol Network call the game starts here at 4:30 right here on The Zone. Also, number 24 Vanderbilt will head on the road to face Ole Miss. Tip-off for that one at 8 o'clock. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USS10.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5, The Zone. Prince Horty with you on a beautiful Tuesday in the Music City. Hope you're having a great day and a great week. Conference basketball tournaments begin this week. That's going to be fun. SEC Women's Tournament starts tomorrow. And then Belmont in action this week. TSU, Austin Peay, Lipscomb. Looking forward to it and see if any or all of those teams can get into, well, not all of them because Lipscomb and Austin Peay are in the same conference. But we'll see if they can get some March Madness, get to the NCAA tournament. And all those brackets will start being filled out Sunday. Sunday, Bloody Sunday. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
There she is. She's Babs.
Hey, what's up? Happy Tuesday, y'all. Let's go. God, it's a beautiful day in this city.
Is. And we get out here.
You told me it was going to be like 70 or 80 on Friday.
83 on Friday.
Man,
it's sunny.
That's like pool weather.
I've already been to the pool.
Lucky you.
Is it a heated pool?
Yeah.
Okay, as I say, that water might be cold, but if it's heated, you're good.
Also, if you go to the pool, you don't have to get in the pool.
That's true, especially with these temps. Like, it's not too hot, so you can just...
Tomorrow, 78 and cloudy. Thursday, 77, partly cloudy. Friday, 83 and partly sunny, and then rain this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
We will be at the boat show on Thursday.
Oh, that's right. At the fairgrounds?
At the fairgrounds.
How about
I didn't know that. When is that?
On Thursday.
The 12th?
This Thursday.
What's this Thursday?
The 5th.
Oh.
Next Thursday, we'll be at Bridgestone Arena
Media
for the
Days,
SEC
tournament.
For SEC basketball tournament.
Sorry, what did I say? Media Days? God, I'm a disaster.
All of these things have been discussed.
We're at the boat show on Thursday.
We will be.
It's a perfect day to be at the boat show.
I think Matt Murphy's also out there.
He is.
I want a boat. I'm on a boat.
You and T-Pain?
Okay, so Thursday is the boat show.
Yeah.
And we'll be there.
At the fairgrounds.
At the fairgrounds.
Also, while we're on air, can you print out the liners for me?
I'm on a boat.
I would if I had
put it in
them.
the chat.
Okay.
Oh,
I found out about the boat show, honestly, because I heard Murphy did a commercial that ran on our station that 3HL is going to be there.
That's how I found out.
Well, guess how I found out? From y'all just about 2 seconds ago. Thank you.
Someone should probably tell Sway, and that someone should probably be me.
I think it's been in the chat.
Nope. The boat show?
Yeah.
Nope.
But I think it was like 2 weeks ago.
I mean, it is
Slay's on
amazing.
TV. He's
It's
not gonna
always
respond.
amazing to me that we are all communication majors, but yet there's zero communication here. Zero. But it's everywhere. I mean, it's every media place.
At News 2, it was like that?
Yeah. Yeah. At ESPN, it's like that. Communication, overrated.
I got you. 615-737-1045. You want in? University of Kentucky Athletics Director Mitch Barnhart is set to retire, according to Pete Thamel. He is in year number 24 at Kentucky. I've been in this business so long that I remember when he got that job. He spent time at Tennessee back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a perfect time for him to retire because then he doesn't have to, or he doesn't get to maybe hire the next coach, right? For anything. Although he did hire football.
Okay.
He did hire football.
I thought you were just axing Mark Pope just right here.
No, I'm not. I'm not axing him
but,
this
I mean,
year. But
is
maybe
true.
next year.
That is true.
But you hire a new AD, Mark Pope. You better not have those meltdowns. You'll be gone.
Also, because then, the guy that is your boss didn't hire you.
Right.
It's always tough. Like us, Paul Mason. What up, Paul? Who, by the way, was the Paul Mason? Shout out. Presented by your mom and him.
That's right. Shout out to our guy.
Paul Mason, our program director, was named Program Director of the Year. #1 in America. He won the national championship. Paul Mason. Congratulations. Cool. Also, 104.5 The Zone, #1 in the country.
Woo woo.
Thanks to Barrett Sports Media and all you guys for helping us grow this thing. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
Oh, Zeph. Do you know where, he went to 2 schools, Mitch Barnhart, Kentucky AD. The first college he went to was Ottawa. And I looked it up because I immediately thought of you.
Right, because you immediately thought Canada. Zeph.
And I thought Zeph probably knows this. But it's Ottawa in Kansas.
There's an Ottawa in Kansas?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Who knew?
Who lives in Ottawa in Kansas?
Apparently Mitch Barnhart for
a couple years.
Period of time. I don't know. Yep.
Population of like 10.
Also, if you're just tuning in, we talked about something Zach Lyons told us yesterday in between shows that he feels like he said this yesterday. He feels like Wan'Dale Robinson will end up as a Titan. He is a free agent wide receiver. Played with the New York Giants for Brian Dable. And then it's been written by several other people today to watch the Titans with regard to Wan'Dale Robinson. The reason why it's getting written, I think, is because of the sewing circle that is the NFL Combine.
Yes.
Where people talk about rumors. 5'8", 185. He's got 185 passes over the course of the last 2 years. He's going into year 5, so relatively young guy. So we'll see there. Another one. We saw this on Twitter. I think Zeph sent it to the group. Soon-to-be Titans edge rusher Jermaine Johnson tweeted, @J_Franklin Myers, next Wednesday, coming soon, ...
Yeah,
much for the legal tampering period.
So Zach also told us that yesterday in between shows.
So one of those, like the Albert Breer, the Matthew Berry, like the people that do like the What I Learned at the Combine articles, post-Combine, where they put every rumor that they've heard throughout last week. I think a couple of them had put John Franklin Myers to the Titans pretty much right at done.
6'4", 288 defensive end. He's 29 years old. Played the last 2 seasons for the Denver Broncos, but here's the connection. Played for Saleh with the New York Jets previous to that for 4 seasons. He's going into year 8. He did miss a season in 2019. 14.5 sacks the last 2 years. 7.5 last year, 7 the year before. Pretty consistent dude. He's had a 6-sack season, a 5-sack season. Pretty consistent guy. You're talking about rotational dude.
I mean, and you're talking about joining Big Jeff.
Big Jeff, Jermaine Johnson.
In a system that he's played in.
Right.
That's right.
And that's another plus. I know. But I saw somebody complaining like, oh, these are all, players that have relationships or that these coaches have coached before. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
They know systems. The coaches know their weaknesses and their strengths and what they can get out of them.
Plus, you want to talk about communication? That helps with the other players.
Exactly.
Like, try to learn the system and all that. It's not just coach, it's player that can help too.
Right.
And you got to build a foundation first. Like, you can't just bring in, you're not going to just bring in like immediate star power, like a Max Crosby or Myles Garrett in year 1 of Robert Saleh. Like, it just doesn't happen. It's just not how the NFL works.
615-737-1045. Keith in Nashville. Keith, what's up?
Yeah, not wanting to pay is not a good reason not to have really
Yeah. Well, just to state, if in case people are just tuning in, neither Babs nor I gave an opinion about bringing Ridley back or not. We just gave you the numbers.
I said yes.
Oh, you said yes, bring him back.
I said yes, bring him back.
I mean, I'm leaning toward bringing him back too.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you how the contract was drawn up, that they could get out of it now.
No, that's not good. No, the other receivers, they're not fast enough. I need Ridley.
All right, Keith, appreciate it, man. Yep. He needs Ridley.
The other thing with Ridley
he is fast.
That I feel like people can hit on whether or not they keep him or not.
Great route runner.
Has a relationship with Brian Dable from his time at Alabama.
I mean,
I know that was
Does
a long
that
time
count?
ago. I mean, yeah.
It's a long time ago.
And brief.
And what was it?
And
1 year.
1 season?
1 season. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Dable did mention it. Dable did mention it in his opening press conference.
Well, of course he was mention it. Why wouldn't
he was asked about it, so yeah. But I mean, just saying that.
I think that's bunk.
You don't think that matters?
No.
Nah.
Not at all. Not to mention it wasn't even the NFL, it was college.
Yeah.
A completely different game.
And completely different person. Think about how you were like 5 years out of college. Oh, wait.
I am 5 years out of college. No, I'm not 5 years out of college. I'm 3 years out of college.
What? That's it?
Yeah, 2023 is when I graduated.
Holy.
I started radio in 1997. How old were you at that point?
-4. No, -5. -4.
Oh, my gosh.
I booked Mike Detillier on a sports talk show before you were even born, like 5 years before you were born.
Holy.
And now you get to talk to him?
June 2001.
Oh, man. June 13th.
Huh. June 13th, 2001. Was born on a Wednesday.
Who knows what day they were born?
I was trying to see if I was born on Friday the 13th. That's why.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
Nick Ewing says Ottawa in Kansas is just outside of Kansas City, really close to Lawrence, Kansas.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
The things you learn, man. All right, we need to take a break. Again, shortened show today. We've got one more segment, and then Vol Network coverage of Tennessee and South Carolina begins at 4:30. That's coming up. Stay tuned. You guys down? John Franklin Myers? Wandale Robinson? Where are you with Calvin Ridley? 615-737-1045.
I like it.
I want to tell you about our friends at Brentwood Jewelry. They have all of the gifting opportunities for you right there. You all have them all year long, and the Imamali family can help you out. They have an incredible selection, but that's not where it starts or finishes. All of that happens with relationships. That's the most important thing to them, and you'll experience that when you go into Brentwood Jewelry. 7012 Church Street in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Brentwood Jewelry, if you're thinking about this, is here to help you pop the question. Let them help you take the stress out of selecting the perfect engagement ring. They can help you find a beautiful ring in your ideal budget, and you can browse their incredible selection of one-of-a-kind rings or talk with their custom design specialists to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. If you haven't already heard, Nashville's premier timepiece dealer is Brentwood Jewelry. Not only do they have the best selection of watches, but they're also the go-to spot for pre-owned Rolexes, both vintage and current models. You can own a fine pre-owned Rolex for a fraction of the cost, and every watch has been meticulously serviced to ensure the highest level of performance and is presented with a 2-year warranty. Brentwood Jewelry, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road, 7012 Church Street. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day for more than 50 years. Check them out online, BrentwoodJewelry.com.
Get over there right now. BrentwoodJewelry.com is where you head on your What's happening, good people? MedicalHouseCalls.com. This is healthcare designed for your life. You're wondering, you're sitting there, you're thinking, how can I get the feeling back the way I want to? If I get this little flu that's going around, what is it, flu type 2 or A or B or C, whatever it is, they can get you back feeling right, man. You got the IV therapy at your fingertips. The home urgent care. You also have primary health care. All of it 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The number that you hit up, 615-838-2375. You can call or text that number, 615-838-2375. You call or text Medical House Calls. They assess what you need within minutes. They book your visit and schedule it right then and there. Maybe can make it over that day, but for sure they're getting there the next day. They'll be at your door to deliver your care that gets you back ASAP. I did the mobile IV therapy, needed to get on the flight the next day. It was boom, bam, bip, and I was back feeling right. Trust and believe in it. I'm telling you, medicalhousecalls.com.
Picture perfect. Paint a perfect picture. It is Tupac Tuesday on 3HL. We're out of here in 6 minutes. See, I told you.
Well, maybe we should take these calls.
Brent Doherty, Don Davenport, executive producer of 3HL, is Zeph Dog, Tennessee, and South Carolina coming up at 5 o'clock. Vol Network coverage begins here in a few minutes. So we'll spend time with guys that called in. Joey on the plains. Joey, what up, man?
What up, Baz? What up, Mayor?
How are you, man?
Man, dude, I'm good. I love it. You know, even though I can't see it, it feels like a beautiful day out there.
Boy, it is, man.
But no, yeah. So, Brent, I actually have to correct you on something that you said a couple weeks ago that just triggered when you said something else. So a couple weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, you said the Titans used to be the Giants. That is incorrect. The Giants have always been the Giants. That's how they became known as the football Giants, is because of the San Francisco Giants were once in New York. So that's how they distinguish them.
So it's the Jets.
Yeah, the Jets were the Titans until 1963 when they changed their name to the Titans. Just like the Kansas City Chiefs used to be the Dallas Texans until they moved to KC and then became the Kansas City Chiefs.
I love it, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem, brother.
I was almost right.
New York Giants, Jets, whatever.
The New York Football Giants. That's why Chris Berman used to call them that.
Yeah. I didn't even remember that comment from you.
Well, I say lots of weird things.
All right. There you go. History on 3HL.
Eric in Virginia wants to talk about Love.
Jeremiah Love, to be specific.
Question really. With Love, I haven't seen too much of his highlights, but I noticed that the past couple of years, he only averaged about 250 yards receiving per season. Did Notre Dame not utilize him in the pass game as much? Can he catch the ball?
They rotated running. Yeah, they rotated
they had
running
two
backs.
Two really good running backs.
Yeah, they might be the first two running backs taken.
Price is the other one. Yeah.
But no, he has the skill set. So yeah, I would encourage you to go watch the film.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is a Vols question. Joey Aguiar, when I first signed up, he's not getting to run that the 6th year. I was not unhappy. He has a penchant for turning the ball over too much. Am I in the minority in thinking that and just hoping that one of the newer guys plays out, or do more people feel that way?
I mean,
I feel that way.
Having said that, he did throw for the third most passing yards in Tennessee football history.
I don't think you're in the minority.
Not in the minority. No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people being okay with it because of what Don pointed out when it happened is that, all right, it's time to get these young guys in and, not be the Miamis and Oregons of the world where
you're just living in the transfer portal quarterback.
The problem is, here's the question.
If you don't want to live in that transfer portal quarterback world, you got to figure out if your young 5-star is the next one coming up.
Yeah, and then ultimately, you better figure out who the quarterback is next year, this year. So if that means playing Faison Brandon too, because one of those guys
be able to do that.
One of those guys is going to leave, so you better at least get him on film to where you can evaluate that and make that call.
Yeah.
The thing about it though is, do you take yourself? You definitely lower the percent chance of you going to the playoff by going into the season with a guy. The most experience you're going to have out there is 2 games and 9 pass attempts.
Yikes. In the SEC.
In the SEC. And it's hard to find
part of that
a playoff team that
has done that.
And a lot of those pass attempts, someone put a cut up of every pass attempt. I think 4 of them were from behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah.
But also, that's on Heupel too for
100%
not playing him more. But then you have the conundrum of how much do I really play him in blowout games or anything like that?
And
because I don't want you lose a red shirt, but B, you don't want other teams to see him and be like, oh, okay, this might be the future. He's going to be legit. Let's pay him a bag, and hit the portal with him.
He was almost in a really hard situation because you were kind of in the same boat with Merklinger. So you really had to look at Merklinger and McIntyre and be like, okay, which one of these guys do I give the opportunity to this year? Because one of them are leaving. He chose Merklinger as the backup last year. And probably because Merklinger was the most ready to be the backup, just in case Aguilar went down. But then you look at what's happened this offseason, and you're like, oh, dang.
Where did he go? UConn?
UConn. Remember, Slade was – I was like, they had a decent year in football for UConn, and Slade was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. UConn's quarterback's in the draft. I mean, he's way down the list. But he's in the draft. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be an interesting topic line all the way through.
It's crazy how much that Nico stuff like just screwed their – because, I mean, they had a very clear plan for quarterback, and once Nico left, it kind of –
sometimes the best laid plans never work out.
Best laid plans of mice and men often go awry.
Especially in college football with the transfer portal and NIL.
Vol Network coverage of Tennessee and South Carolina begins soon. Tip off at 5 right here on 104.5 The Zone. Appreciate you being with us. Wednesday show will be a full show, we promise. And Slay Dog will be back. So we're looking forward to that.
And you can catch them on SEC Network in about 5 minutes.
That's exactly right. We appreciate you guys, including us in your day and in your lives. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Hopefully we were able to put a smile on your face. 3HL Organized Chaos. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't be unless you're a shout-out to Slay Dog. Killing it on the network as usual.
And the New York Titans.
And go Vols.
Got to sneak that one in there, don't you? That's it.